Good day, gamers. Today, you get to meet my hated rival, Jambi. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're actually going to be creating an NPC and then doing the basics of sort of like what's called raycasting, which is going to be enabled us to detect whether or not another object is it within like in sight line and near us. So let's go ahead now. Depending on which flavor you want to go with. So for me, I'm going. You I already said his name. I'm going with Jambi. That is going to be the NPC in the Ruby project folder. But of course, you go with what's this other character? I don't know, man. Like, I don't even know, a teddy bear, or I don't know what's going on there. And then you've also got Ducko. You've got Martha. Martha Sheet. So Martha, the NPC. Again, I'm going with Jambi. I despise him. He hated Rival since 2017. Not a fan. But anyways, so pick your character folder. Okay, it looks like if you do the one here with in Sugarland, you'll have to slice that. So remember, you do sprite mode, multiple, blah blah blah. But I'm going here with Jambi, which it looks like it's already been sliced for me. So I see here it's set to multiple and then pixels per unit 150. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead, bring in just one of those frames, and then I'm going to rename it NPC. Okay, let's say NPC1. Premonition for later. Okay, so we've got NPC1, and then what we're going to do is while we're here, let's add a box collider 2D. Okay, and we're going to set it up so that this box collider is only going to be a portion, kind of like the bottom portion there. Okay, and then we're going to add an an animator here that will come back to that. And while we're here, we're going to go to layer, add layer, and then we're going to create a new layer called NPC. Let's go back to Jambi. Oh, it didn't save. PC1. Okay, we'll figure that out. Anyways, NPC1, cool. Yes, now there we go. Enter. Got it. Set that layer to NPC, and we'll come back to that later. That's going to be important when it comes to like we've done stuff with the physics. This is going to be important when it comes to what's called raycasting in terms of detection. Okay. So let's go ahead and make an idle animation for him. So let's go ahead to our animation folder. And then, sorry, this was from my test run. So we're going to go ahead and just do a right click, create animation, animation controller. And we're going to just call this NPC 1. Okay. Then we're going to go back to our NPC game object in our hierarchy and then just drag and drop that there. Okay. So while we have this up, let's go to window, animation. I always get these, and then just animation. Okay. So let's go ahead here. We've got our fella here. Let's create a clip just called, and we'll put it in our animation folder. We'll say NPC idle. Okay. And what we'll do then is we're going to go to our characters, back here to Jambies, and then I'm just going to take these 3 frames. So what I did is I clicked on one, and then I press Control and click the other ones. Alternatively, click on one and press Shift, and that will select all of them. Then what I did is I'm going to drag and drop these. Okay, just as before, we're going to need to set our sample rate to the number of frames that we have. Like if we play this, it's going to go wild. So since we only have 3 frames of animation, we're going to set that sample size to 3. All right. And if you don't have that, remember it's the little dots here and show sample rate. So now when I play this, it's still crazy because I didn't. There we go. 3. There we go. Chill, 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 Jambi. Okay, good stuff. Alrighty. So now let's just make sure our animate that's set as our default state, which I think it should be. Yep, there we go. So it's the default state, so that if I go into the game, Jambi is chilling. Good. He's playing his idle animation with his evil eyes. Anyways, we now are going to do some real basic things to set up what's called raycasting. I've provided you a lot of the code in Schoology, okay, just because it's sort of there's a lot just for the what's called the find friend function. But we're going to do some easy stuff to start. So let's go to our player controller. So let's go to scripts, player controller, and we need to do two things. We need to basically set it up so that we can press a button and then making it so that we call a function with that button. We'll also have to set up the button, like map the button in our the Unity editor, but we'll come back to that. Okay, so well, let's go ahead. We're going to create a public reference. I'm just going to put it near the public input action, move action. I'm just do the same thing. Public input action, and then we're going to call this talk action. Okay. Let me just increase the size here. So it really doesn't matter where you put it. Just make sure it's in the player controller, like up at the top. And then in the start function, just as we did some stuff with start. So we see here that we've, darn it, I already had it in here. I put mine right below move action. So I'm going to just say talk action dot enable, open parenthesis, close, semicolon. Okay. Now here's where I grabbed the code. I put this find friend. I've got this in Schoology. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through this. Like, where is it in Schoology? It is right here. So to get to this video, you would have had to have seen it. It's actually easier to see in here. Now let's do it in code. So we go ahead here. This is a raycast is basically going to create a ray, as the name implies, basically a beam that's going to start from a certain position. Okay, so in this case here, we are going to figure out where the character is. So that's what this takes what's called 4 arguments. So it's basically 4 pieces of information in order to run. So we're going to set up and we're going to say, starting off where the player is a little bit. Okay, so like that's kind of the top of the player. Create an array that starts there, goes in the direction the player is facing, checks goes a certain distance. In this case here, like in the written instructions, like we're making the assumption that our character is not screaming. So this 1.5f is like how many. Oh God, yeah, there we go. 1.5f is related to how far we want the ray to go. And then we want it to only be on the NPC mask, which we set it up. We don't want it to we don't want this ray to be operating on the default layer. We want to be operating just on the layer that is on the NPC layer. Okay, and objects on the NPC layer, which we set up Jambi to do. Then we go ahead and for now I just have a debug here that's just basically it's a test. It's just a test. Okay. Remaining things that we need to do in this. We need to go ahead and remap the our controls for this. Okay. So we go ahead here to our player character and we go ahead we see here we've got all these different things as far as our different uh, things, and we're going to go ahead and where it says talk action, what do we want to do in terms of the button? I guess we'll just do C. Okay, so talk action. Let's go ahead here, say add binding, double click on it, path. We're going to set to listen and then just set it to like C. Okay, and that should be it. All right, I wish you the best of luck. Great stuff. Hey folks, quick edit here. When I had mapped the keyboard action for C, I forgot that that's what we had used to shoot. So with talk action, you want to go ahead, if you had mapped it to C, just double click on it, and go here to the listen, and then X would make sense as far as something to map it to. And then if you want to see it in action, you should see a debug, like when you come up to the NPC character, okay, and then you press X, and you're going to see that in the console. All right, wish you the best of luck. Great stuff.